Let's go over this LeetCode length of last word problem. There's a ton of different ways we can do this. This is another way. So given a string consisting of words and spaces, we want to return the last word in the string. A word, of course, is a maximal substring consisting of non-space characters only. Like I said, there's many ways you can do this. You could make it a substring, you could look at the end, and this is what came to mind to me first, so that's what we're going to do. A for loop. How do we do this? Well, we know we want to examine every character inside of this from the end until we get to a space. So let's make a for loop to do so. Inside of here will be for. I'll set int index, because we're going to look at the indexes, equal to s.length. Remember, indexes is 1 less than length, so we have to do -1. We want to run this as long as our index is greater than 0. This will prevent any out of bounds, even though the likelihood of us running it to 0 is not very likely. And then we are going to want to just do index --, so we decrement every single time we run this. Now, in this for loop, we're going to have two cases. One, if it's a non-space, so non-space, or if it is a space. So let's code for the non-space first. So if, remember, it's a character, we are going to want to increment some kind of counter that we're eventually going to return down here. Because remember, we're returning of type int right here. So let's do return counter, and we'll initialize counter to be 0. Int counter is equal to 0. Now there's also the possible case that we might have spaces at the end, and we are not going to count these spaces. So to remove the spaces at the end, we can actually just do an s is equal to s.trim, trimming off any white spaces and just leaving what we have afterwards. So that'll solve that problem. This is our counter, and then we are going to eventually return that counter. So if it is a non-space, meaning there is some character here, we're going to want to increment our counter. So we can say if the character, that's important, the character at the specific location or string. So if our s.char@, we'll use the char@ method. If s.char@, and then we have our index, if this is not equal to a space, we're going to have single quotes in here because it's a character. If it's not equal to this, so it is a non-space, we are going to want to have our counter increment ++, just like this. Otherwise, if there is a space, we'll have an else, and then we're just going to return a either break, or you can just return a counter. Now, if you return a break, it would just break out of this for loop and return counter, or you can just return the counter like this. If we submit this, we have an issue with our s being a, and output should be 1, but it's 0. And this has to do with the for loop header right here. I'm running it as the index as long as it's greater than 0, but we should examine every index inside of here. That's my bad. So with that fix, we have a 0 millisecond runtime and a 41.77 megabyte memory. I think it should have done better memory-wise, because if you look at a solution like this, it's pretty similar, but who am I to judge? Anyways, that's going to be it for this problem. If you have any questions on it, please leave a comment below. And if you want more Java practice problems, check out that playlist and below the like button.